Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this very special segment today. And I'd like to thank everyone for the wonderful comments and the extraordinary number of views that we had on our live streaming of Narendra Modi's Rockstar reception in Sydney. If you want to take a quick look at how it all happened there, here is a glimpse.
करीब सैकड़ों तरह के डॉक्यूमेंट्स डिजिटल लॉकर में रिफ्लेक्ट होते हैं। आपको फिजिकल कॉपी स्टोर करने की जरूरत नहीं है, बस एक पासवर्ड काफी है।
So that was that crowd pleaser, and we'd like to thank everyone for the number of comments and the number of views that that streaming got. So once again, it's wonderful. Well, today, first of all, we'll look at the news in brief, courtesy of ABC, and then we will look at today. We'll hear from our Queensland Premier as he addresses Queensland Indian community. First of all, news in brief.
Our lead story today, fire investigators and forensic police are still waiting for the all-clear to enter the site of a major inferno in Sydney's inner city that destroyed a heritage-listed building. Crews have worked through the night to mop up the blaze at the 7-storey former Henderson hat factory in Surrey Hills. More than 100 emergency personnel and 30 fire trucks were deployed, with residents from neighbouring properties evacuated and spending the night elsewhere while risk assessments were conducted.
Today marks the 25th anniversary of National Sorry Day, commemorating the mistreatment of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people as part of the Stolen Generations. It was also on this day 6 years ago that the Uluru Statement from the Heart first proposed an Indigenous voice to Parliament, set to be put to Australians at a national referendum later in the year.
A car has crashed into the gates of Downing Street in central London, setting off a rapid security response. A man was arrested on suspicion of criminal damage and dangerous driving. There were no reports of injuries, and police are not treating it as terror-related.
WA police have charged a 15-year-old boy following a shooting at a school in Two Rocks, north of Perth. Police allege the former student, who was armed with 2 rifles, drove to Atlantis Beach Baptist College where he fired 3 shots, one of which pierced through a classroom occupied by students. The teenager faces charges including 3 counts of unlawfully possessing a firearm or ammunition. He's due to appear in the Perth Children's Court today.
So there you are, ladies and gentlemen, up to date on Australian Indian Radio with the news in brief. Right now, as planned and as promised, is that coverage of the Queensland Premier's address to the Indian community.
Queensland great, and I thank you very much for all that you do. There are many ways to count the value of the contribution of our Indian community. There is the economic value, of course. India is Queensland's second largest trading partner, with exports worth $19 billion in the 12 months to March, an increase of 30%. The Economic Cooperation and Trade Agreement, which came into force in December last year, eliminated tariffs on 85% of all good exports to India, with the balance to be removed over the next 6 years. A close trade relationship leads to a closer relationship in all other ways. Each month, 1 million people in India turn 18. This is a huge opportunity for us, for our universities and our skill shortages. But there is also the story of those Indian descent living in Queensland. Our Indian community is industrious and hardworking. Your contribution to healthcare in particular is extraordinary. I know many people here today have businesses of your own. These businesses are the backbone of our community. How many of you have provided a teenager with their very first job, or helped families keep a roof over their head, or any of the hundreds of ways small business keep our schools and sporting clubs operating through charitable and other works? You truly are the glue that binds us. But there are many other ways to measure value too. Being a Queenslander doesn't mean we stop celebrating and sharing our family heritage. It makes our state one of the most successful multicultural communities in the world. As many as 44 organisations make up the Federation of Indian Communities. That tells us about the diversity of the Indian community, let alone our community as a whole. And of course, the people of Indian heritage make up the second largest and fastest growing group of Australians born overseas. The pride we feel as Queenslanders is the pride we feel as members of all of our communities. It is the strength of belonging. And as you know, Queensland is a big state. I believe that we are different from other states because no matter how far apart we live in Queensland, we are all in everything together. And that applies to our family heritage. No matter our family's origin, we all cheer for the same side at state of origin time. That's what being a Queenslander is all about, and it's our multicultural community that has made it that way. This truth about Queensland helped us win the 2032 Olympic and Paralympic Games. It is something we plan to showcase when we step out onto the world stage, and we're proud of it. When we asked Queenslanders recently what one thing they wanted to achieve from the 2032 Olympic and Paralympic Games, they all said one thing: inclusion. Everybody belongs. Everybody has their contribution to make, which I know is the reason the Federation of Indian Communities exists as well. I wanted to personally thank you for the 25 years of commitment and service across our state. Queensland is all the better because of you, and let's toast to the next 25 years, because Queensland's best days are well and truly ahead of us. Namaste.
And that was the Queensland Premier at the 25th anniversary of the Federation of Indian Communities of Queensland, held at the Brisbane City Hall on Sunday. And a great address there, good recognition for our Indian community for the work that's been done. Some of the areas that we highlighted was healthcare, and definitely in healthcare, our team is by far leading the path. Well, ladies and gentlemen, right now it's time to go to our daily functions and events for the weekend. So there were, ladies and gentlemen, up to date on Australian Indian Radio, and I must congratulate Desi Rockstars for a very, very successful poster launch of the upcoming Gurdas Mahotsav, which will once again be held at Sleeman Complex. And as I said in my opening speech there last night, that I remember and have very fond memories of 2012 when we, as Brisbane Indian Times, brought Gurdas Manji here to Brisbane. Well, and of course, congratulations to the Lord Mayor. Yesterday, a very, very beautiful reception held for the Olympics and Paralympics. And what a wonderful speech there from Alan Levis Pro, who is heading the Olympics, and what they have to deliver. What powerful message he had. It was so amazing to see that. He said, is there pressure on him? He said, and that's what he said makes him tick, makes him go. He loves the pressure of, he doesn't just like to be in the comfort zone. So he likes to be challenged, he likes to the challenges, and likes being out there with the current of things. So that's about all we have for you today, ladies and gentlemen. It's been wonderful having your company as usual. And once again, I must thanks for that record number of views for Prime Minister Narendra Modi's speech, which we streamed from here. And today we had the Premier's speech. If you have missed it, you can always go back and watch it on our Facebook channels, but also on our YouTube channel. You just go to YouTube and search for Australian Indian Radios, and you'll find all our previous streams there. Until tomorrow, it's goodbye from us.